Nick, what do you got for me?
So you know I like to watch movies occasionally, right?
Yeah, you like to make them too.
And every once in a while I like to watch the same movie over and over again. You know, this is what Netflix is for. You can go on, you can find such classics as The Hunt for October, which is a phenomenal film. You'll see on AMC. I like to watch the AMC every once in a while. What I like about watching the movie over and over, it's like listening to a song over and over again, right? The lines of each movie kind of become iconic for the actual thing, right? So what I wanted to ask you guys today, and it's going to be a quick topic, we can just go around or we can say multiple ones. What are some of your favorite movie lines? Why do you do that?
Because everyone loves you, yeah.
Really?
You're very particular right now.
Interesting.
Watch the clip, you'll see.
I don't watch anything we do.
Favorite movie lines.
Greg, what is one of your favorite movie lines?
You're never going to regret this, Ray. From Ghostbusters, when they come out of the bank after he puts another mortgage on the house, Venkman goes, "You're never gonna regret this."
Lots
Ray.
of people have 2 mortgages these days.
Yeah. No, it's way more than 2. I always think of it because the first time I ever used it in a conversation was I convinced my friend Poe to buy a PS2 back in the day, and he liked games, but maybe not enough to own a console, but he finally did it. So he when you get that bill, when you're our age, you're a teenager.
That's a lot of money from back then.
$300 or whatever. He's kind of scratching his head, and as we're leaving, I opened the door to the game stop, and I was just like, "You're never gonna regret this, Ray."
I love it. I immediately regretted it.
And he immediately regretted it. We bought SOCOM and the fucking modem, and we never played him one
I
day.
bought SOCOM and the modem too, and I was like, "Why the fuck did I buy this?"
I rented it, and I was very happy I rented it.
I couldn't even understand. I get it on the PS2. I was like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
Another
it's an abomination.
Underrated line is "Idle Hands." Seth Green when they open the when the kitchen's trashed and they open the microwave and there's the hand that got exploded and it's all disgusting. They want to make microwave burritos. The other guy's like, "Man, do you think we should clean it up?" And Seth Green goes, "Yeah, while we're at it, we'll just clean the whole fucking house. This isn't our mess," and tosses in the burrito and shuts it. I used that in a Burger King once and got a good laugh.
God, I love that movie. Jessica Alba has never looked better.
That was her breakout role.
No one has looked better than that.
She was in that little angel costume.
Yeah.
We've talked about this on this show.
We do. We come back to this a lot.
Heaven to kick it with me. Who the fuck wrote Idle Hands?
Someone who's probably a millionaire right now. He's just counting money, Idle Hands 1, Idle Hands 2.
There's no Idle Hands 2.
No, they should have made one.
They perfected it.
They should have made one.
One and done.
All right, kid, you've had your fun. Now get off the wall. His head gets ripped off. Offspring.
Yeah.
Tim.
Oh, I got this. So for me, this is the easiest thing. There's what I call the triangle of perfection, where every 2 ways there's a connection. First off, Air Force One, get off my plane. There's something so magical about that it just makes me.
Of course,
he's the president.
The iconic line before the president of the United States kicks the Russian terror or the Ukrainian terrorists out of Air Force One, right?
It's so good.
He kicks Commissioner Gordon out. Yeah.
He does kick Gordon out.
It's just so good because he holds him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Gordon. That's crazy.
Why can't I remember his name?
Gary Oldman.
Thank you.
He says it. He throws him out. There's a pause where he chokes for a second.
Right.
And then flies away.
Yeah. It's the worst. It's like the
just
worst death.
artistry.
imaginable.
It's so good. Now, moving down the triangle.
Sure.
That goes to another classic, Snakes on a Plane.
Love that.
Where
So
Samuel
the
L.
triangle is
Jackson.
really just a plane.
No.
So anything that was
no.
made on a plane.
No. So the other way is Samuel L. Jackson. I want these motherfucking snakes off my motherfucking plane.
Yeah.
I like people throwing things off planes. There's something about that. I'm just, whenever I hear these lines, I'm like, yes. Yes.
Perhaps he's wondering why he would shoot a man before throwing him off a plane. Right?
Yeah, that's a line.
I'm great with that. That was the third one.
Yeah.
That's the other part of the triangle, right?
So, no, going to the triangle. So the triangle only works the 2 ways. The third quote. Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Han Solo.
Yeah.
Going down. I love you. I know. It makes my balls wet.
Oh, I know. What? You got something to say?
You say wet or sweat? Because I couldn't tell which one it was.
I said wet.
It's like we were talking in the car, remember?
Yeah, I remember the famous Neil Patrick Harris line.
Yeah.
From
Makes
Harold
my
and
balls
Kumar.
sweat would be even better. But a little
That's
fucked
an
up.
actual physical thing that happens. Colin, you got one for me?
I got a few that come to mind.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is, my brother and I always say this to each other still. I think it comes from Under Siege. The great Steven Seagal movie.
It's classic Steven Seagal.
Where he's like
Gary Busey.
He's like the cook or whatever on the.
He's the cook.
And there's a
/ Navy SEAL.
yeah. But there's a scene where he's like, they're like, I don't even remember the fucking context of it. My brother and I have been saying this to each other for like 20 years though. And he's like, he says something. He's like, "I'm just a chef," or whatever.
No, he goes,
like,
no. He goes, she goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm just the cook."
Oh, the cook. Yeah, it's like that's what my brother said. Yeah,
God,
like we'll leave
so
voicemail messages with just that on it.
It's after, so it's after. It's that scene right after the girl pops out of the cake, right, and she's topless, and she's phenomenal. And then
I never saw this movie.
Such a good. It's Tommy Lee Jones' like best work, arguably.
I love
Steven
Steven Seagal too. I love Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal back in I wanted to be Steven Seagal for a very
Everyone
long time.
wanted to be.
Is that what the shadow boxing was all about?
That's half what the shadow boxing was. Steven Seagal used to do a martial arts form called Aikido, which was just looked so cool. Really hard to learn. It's like a lot of like moving your arm and flipping people, and then chopping them right in the neck for no reason, and then hitting in the balls. Yeah. Like it was like neck, balls, flip. That's what everything was. But Under Siege was amazing because when it came out, it was the concept of this movie is a cook was on the ship. Right, the ship gets taken over by terrorists who were like trying to take the Tomahawk missiles or whatever. I can't remember.
Sounds
that
like
part.
Deep Blue Sea.
It's nothing like Deep Blue Sea. That had a lot more to do with sharks. And the cook is the only person that they like kind of marginalize. They're like, oh, we'll just lock him in the meat locker or whatever it is, and we'll kill him later. But it turns out he's actually an ex-Navy SEAL who's on the ship because he like saved the admiral's life or something like that. But he's kind of a dick because he's like a rogue, warrior, like a badass. And so no one knows who he is because the admiral's like, well, you just come on the ship, you can finish out your career here, and then you'll go on and retire. But I'll watch over you. So of course they kill the admiral, and he's like, oh no, I have to be crazy. And so he saves this girl that's on there. She's a love interest. Then he kills a bunch of people in front of him, and she goes, who are you? And he looks back at the guy. I swear to God, as hard as he possibly can, is like, I'm just a cook. And then he moves on. And that was it. That was one line in the height of his career was right there.
Right, that
one, and he did a movie called, and I shit you not, this is the title of this film, Hard to Kill.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. This is the thing about Steven Seagal. This is the funny Steven Seagal connection with the Moriarty clan. Is that
there's a connection?
Yeah, there is. Is that my father, who's like a really stoic, like silent, quiet dude. He like loves watching movies and he goes to movies like every weekend with his girlfriend. Like he just sees everything and like watches a lot of TV shows on Netflix and stuff like that when he can. Hates TV though. Has a huge sticker on his refrigerator that says "Kill your television" on it, but we'll watch it all the time anyway. And he fucking loves Steven Seagal. Like he fucking loves Steven Seagal.
There's nothing not to like.
And when I was a little kid, like 6, 7, 8 years old in the late 80s, early 90s, like we'd rent every Steven Seagal movie and just watch it.
And there were a lot of them, by the way. He'd
there was
a movie
like
every 6 months.
Yeah, like there were probably 20 of them between 1988 and 1995 or something.
1989. He did like 20 of them in 1 year.
But the other movie that I think is it's one of my favorite movies of all time, top 3 for sure, is Caddyshack. Oh. And basically anything Rodney Dangerfield says in that entire movie is quotable. My favorite is when he drives up. One of my favorites. So there's a lot of good ones. You see Caddyshack?
No.
That makes me just want to ring your. That makes me just want to ring.
I'm bad with movies, guys.
That's a must-see movie. Mm-hmm. The best sports movie ever.
It is.
And he just drives up with the Asian guy that's like driving his car, and the guy comes out. And he's like, "This is my friend Wang. No offense." And so he walks in. It's like so dumb, and like just every 5 seconds there's like a quotable. When he's in the right after that, when he's in the shop or whatever, and he's like, "I'll take one of these, and I'll take 2 of these, and I'll take," because he's like a rich guy in the movie. Mm-hmm. And then he sees the guy, Ted Knight's character wearing the hat, and he's like, "This hat though," whatever. He's like, "You get a free bowl of soup with this hat or whatever." Then he Smales walks by and he's like, "Looks good on you though." And then he just does like that face. He always does like that, like
roll of eyes.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's so. And
that one's got like, I mean, you've got everything Chevy Chase says is amazing, and everything Bill Murray says in that movie.
They're all ad-libbed, I think, in that movie. At least I think Bill. I think everything Bill Murray says is like unscripted or something like that. And they didn't like each other.
No.
Yeah.
Another classic Harold Ramis film. Actually, that was his first one, right? That was the first one he directed, I think. I think that was his actual director.
Yeah, and R.I.P. by the way. I mean, that's he died recently, and that's his greatest work in my opinion.
He realized, I think there's a funny story in the behind the scenes on that where they realized about halfway through filming that Bill Murray and Chevy Chase never actually had a scene together. So they wrote that random scene, and like they wrote it the night before and shot it the next day where he hits the ball through Bill Murray's thing, and he starts offering him weed and stuff. He's like, nope, or moonshine or whatever it was, and he's like, nope, okay, well, that's good. Cannonball, come on, cannonball.
Oh, maybe that's like the whole ad lib, or like
that whole scene. I think was ad libs, but they did not like each other. Like, I guess back in the day, Chevy was a little hard. I guess Bill and Chevy are a little hard to get along with.
Yeah, both of them do really well right now.
What's that?
Both of them make friends really easily right now.
Yeah. They're saints from what I hear.
But just real quick, I just want to give a shout out real quick to a specific scene. Now, there's a Ramon Narvaez connection here because this is also one of Ramon's favorite movies we used to watch in college like every day. I missed that for like 4 years. I put on his wall the scene. I don't know if you guys remember when they're in the club. Like in the dinner scene when Rodney Dangerfield's with all of his friends. First of all, I have no idea who the fuck any of these people are. That like, you know what I'm talking about? Like
bros. There's like, entourage.
He just has like an entourage that's with him.
Because he's awesome.
And he's like making them laugh. Whatever. This one, he's like, tell the chef this is low grade dog food. And he's like just giving money to like all the waitresses and stuff like that. But then he walks up to Smale's table with like his wife and his grandson and stuff like that. And there's one specific scene. I want people to go look it up because it's like so understated and I never even realized how funny it was. Just one throwaway line where he's like talking to all the people and like just making fun of them. And he quickly says to a woman, he's like, "Hey doll, you live alone?" And then like just stops for like a few seconds, and then it just walks away and keeps going down the table. And I'm like, that is just the funniest thing. You could tell he was just throwing shit in that was like clearly not written for anyone. Yeah. And like that specific scene to me like resonates, like where he thought that they were gonna cut or something like that, and they just let him keep going, and so he just like.
So there's another funny story they said in the making of where. That was one of the first roles that he had done. Prior to that, I guess he was a stand-up comedian, and it was like he was known as like the king of the one-liners, who would set up in one line. And he said that he was like after the first couple of days of shooting, he was like a nervous wreck, and he went to Harold Ramis and was like, "I don't think I can do this anymore." And Harold's like, "Why? You're doing great." He was like, "Yeah, but every time I say anything, no one's laughing." And Ramis is like, "No, they can't laugh. They'll ruin the take if they laugh." And he's like, "Oh." And then from that on, of course, he went on to have just an amazingly glorious career. He did Back to School, and that was amazing too.
Oh, Back to School, like those two movies, and I would honestly throw Ladybugs in there. Like I said, like last time we talked about, like those are fucking funny movies. He's a funny dude. I was just watching, like we talked about it, like the history class scene in Back to School. Yeah, is like just so fucking awesome. It's like not, and I was also watching the Oingo Boingo party scene.
Dude, Boingo was in
when
that movie.
When they're playing Dead Man's Party.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Did you see Back to School?
No.
We have to just watch these two movies.
We gotta start
like, I don't
watching
understand.
Yeah, we really do.
We should just have a movie night or something.
Back to School is one of those like, it's just such
amazing movies.
Good film. It's about a guy who's rich and he got rich on his own, like, you know.
It's the same character from Caddyshack.
It is the exact same character. He always played the character, but it's about a guy who's super rich because he was just good at making money, entrepreneur or whatever. But he never went to school, and his son's failing at college, and so he goes, "This is how I can bond with my son. I'll go back to school. I'll finish school." And of course, he's super rich, so his first instinct is to just buy his way through everything. So this is awesome scene where he goes, he walks into the dorm room, and this is tiny little dorm room, and they're sharing these bunks, and it's this kid that never did another movie, and Robert Downey Jr. as his awesome. This is like back when Robert Downey Jr. like his first time, he was awesome.
Iron Boy.
He was Iron Boy. But he had like badass punk hair.
And he had a cool Duran Duran sticker on his fucking furniture, which I thought was really cool.
Absolutely. And so Ryan Dangerfield's first thought is like, we can't live in here. This is horrible. We're moving into I guess he's like, we're moving. Oh no, actually, I think he was like, yeah, I'm gonna move in here too. So they go away, and then they come back the next day, and all of them are like, he's like, I got everyone in their own rooms, their own dorm rooms, and they open up the dorm rooms, and he just gutted an entire wing of the dorm, and it's all one just badass like dorm. And I always was like, in college, I want that. That's the thing I want to go to college. I had like a hot tub and like a sauna and like a massage room and like a full kitchen, and I was like, this is cool. And I ended up rooming with my good friend Ryan Creasy, and
you did that.
I didn't get any sleep. No, because he had the world's loudest. He thought it was really cool to have an old like late 80s, early 90s keyboard that was really loud. He was like, when I type with authority. And I was like, you are just the most annoying human being on the planet. I almost killed him. I almost like broke it over his head a couple times.
Damn.
Yeah.
All that shadow boxing paid off.
Yeah. You gotta stretch.
So I want to give a shout out to 3 more quotes that I thought of, because I was like, these are some good ones.
Yeah.
This one's been overused a lot, but Transformers the movie.
Jesus Christ.
They've ran this one in the ground. But
which one? The animated one? Or
are you Sam Witwicky?
Huh? Sam Witwicky.
Are you Sam Witwicky?
Well, if there was that, the only quote should be Optimus.
Is there the one?
No.
Sam Witwicky, welcome to Robot Heaven.
It's not that. I wish they actually said that.
I got it on eBay.
Oh my god, it's not.
Because
it's not those movies. It's the 84 movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's One Shall
What's
Stand.
the song?
One Shall Fall.
Oh God.
Like, You Got the Touch.
One shall stand.
Is playing. Optimus comes
One
up,
shall
walks up to
fall.
Megatron. One shall stand. The other motherfucker.
He said something like some crazy like this ends here, and he's like Megatron. One shall stand. One shall fall.
And then they fight to Optimus's death.
Yeah.
I mean,
Straight up.
and Megatron's death essentially.
Spoilers.
So both fall. That's weird. They
Well,
lied.
he was right.
So he's a fucking liar.
Yeah, they both lied. So that's one of them. Another one very similar is in the 2007 Ninja Turtle movie, which is highly underrated. There's a
The
scene.
CG one.
That's
is
the one that
okay.
stars the older sister from Nashville as April O'Neil.
The older sister. Oh, okay, yeah. No, wait. No. He's saying the CGI one.
Oh, there was a CGI one in 87?
2007.
Oh, 2007. I think it said 87.
And
My
you
bad.
just blew my mind with that, by the way.
Continue.
April O'Neil Nashville reference. Thank you.
Yeah, you want.
So there's a scene
Still doing
where
good work, Tandy.
Leonardo and Raphael are fighting and are just arguing. And then Raphael's like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you always think that you're better than me? And then Leonardo just looks at him. Because I'm better than you. And then they fight. And it's awesome.
Who wins?
Does Leo win?
Raphael ends up winning.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's not better than him. No, he
But it
sat out.
was like, oh, I needed that. So that was good. But my number one quote of all time
Quotable quotes.
is from the 1998 Disney Channel original movie, Bless You.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Brink.
Oh man, about the rollerbladers.
Yes.
I remember that movie.
One of my favorite movies of all time. It's so good. And at the end, there's a scene where Team X-Blades, the evil Team X-Blades,
Yeah, they have to be evil.
is going up against the Soul Skaters, a.k.a. Team Pup and Suds. And
Sorry?
Pup and Suds. They had to get
Pup and
sponsored by a
Suds.
local mom and pop.
And they got like the dog bath.
dog bath place, yeah. Because they're the Soul Skaters.
Pop and subs.
So they go up, Pup and
Eating
Suds.
subs? Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Fuck. Quick amendment.
we'll
When we were
come back
talking
to
about
you.
Grinder,
Mm-hmm.
the app, there used to be an awesome restaurant called WG Grinders. Thank you.
Good. So going back to this battle between Team Pup and Suds and Team X-Blades.
Well done.
In the
Greg.
middle of like what's essentially the X Games like final round between
Yeah.
the villain and the hero. He's kind of down, like down points or whatever. It's the classic comeback tale. And at the halftime, he goes into the crowd and goes up to his little sister, and it's just like, "Hey, do you have any tips for me?" And she goes, "Yeah, skate better." And he's like, "Oh yeah, skate better. You're right. I just need to skate better." And that's how I live my life. Where I'm just like, what do I need to do better? I just need to do better. It's that easy.
Just be your
it's
own
that
hero.
simple.
There you
just
go.
Be better.
I mean, cool if she said,
love that.
Cooler if she would have said pup, and he would have gone, and suds, and they pound fists, and then the thing opens, and dogs just fucking a million dogs. And they're
Just
all
maul,
like,
just maul them.
exactly.
Like, they just eat
They're
him
all
alive.
mangy
They're
and like,
eating me alive. Why are they killing me?
Nick, it is one of my goals in life
they
to make
haven't
Brink
eaten in
2.
forever.
You can probably do that tomorrow. You can kickstart that.
I want to do it with you, though.
I'll do
It'll
Brink
be
2
good.
sight unseen. I've never even seen the first one, but I'll
Bring back
absolutely
Eric
direct
Can we do the
Von
dog
Getty.
scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It starts. It goes an hour and a half in, and then the dogs strike.
Team Pup and Suds, man. Don't mess
90
with them.
minutes.
90 minutes on the 91st
It
minute.
turns into a horror.
It turns into like a really graphic horror movie.
All right, the dogs beat the other team. Now get them caged. We can't cage them anymore. And they break through the glass and they're just taking over the town.
They have the strength of 3 million puppies.
Ah, Pup and Suds. That's what you call it.
That's really good.
Colin,
Yeah.
you want to take us home?
Yeah. What
Oh,
I
wait,
want.
I didn't get to say my
Oh,
quote.
I'm sorry.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
All
I
that
still
time
have
without
them.
it? You,
I asked you guys about yours. I have 2. I'm gonna slaughter one of them. But as a movie, I've watched this reason why this came up is this. I just kind of recently watched these 2 movies. One of them's from the original Superman movie.
Superman.
That was Superman 2.
Yeah, I know.
There's a great scene in Superman where he saves Lois for the first time. And she falls, and it's this awesome, like the chopper's about to fall, and all this stuff's happening, and you haven't really seen Superman yet. No one knows who he is, and literally this is what the first time audiences had seen a real Superman on the big screen. And she falls down, and he catches her, and he goes, "Don't worry, ma'am, I've got you." And she goes, "You've got me. Who's got you?" And then he flies her back up to the top.
That's awesome.
I love that.
And then he flies away, and it's just like.
He punches her in the face.
Then the puppies fucking maul. They just get on
We love loose enough. They're eating all cinema.
One of my other favorite lines, and this is a movie that you guys probably haven't seen. It's a movie called Unforgiven. It's it's at this point, I guess you can call it a classic.
This is the Western, right?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood Western, directed it. I think it was one of the first things he directed. It's about a man who used to be an outlaw. He used to be a really horrible human being until he met a woman that kind of turned him around, and then she died, and he's raising 2 kids with her.
Classic tale.
And his friend, one of his old gang members, or one of the members of his old gang, comes back and says, "Hey, there's this job that we can go do, and you're on kind of dire straits. And I know you promised your dead wife that you'll never do this again, and never be that guy again, and never drink again, and never be this horrible human killer. But we need this." And so he goes and he gets another member of his. Actually, this was a young kid. Then he goes and gets the other members of his gang, and they go do this thing. But toward the end of it, they end up spoilers. His friend Morgan Freeman ends up getting whipped to death, and because of this, it's a great story. But so that sends Clint Eastwood his character over the edge, and he ends up. You have this amazing moment where he hasn't had a drop of alcohol in forever, and then you just see this perspective of him, his horse. It's raining, right? And as is after his friend got killed, and he looks, and you see him kind of look over, and you see his the friend in the coffin, and then he looks back to the street, and you see a bottle, just an empty bottle, get thrown out, and it kind of splashes in the rain, and then he walks in, and he goes. He's like, and everyone's like, and they're all looking for him, by the way. They're all about this whole town, this whole gang's trying to kill him. And he walks in, and he goes, well, he's got his gun drawn, and he's like, "Who shot my friend?" And they're like, "That guy did it." And he blows the guy away. Doesn't even wait for him to draw, just blows him away. And then then everyone gets up, and Gene Hackman's like, "You, sir, are a coward. Shoot an unarmed man." And he goes, "Well, he should have thought about arming himself before he decided to Oh, that's what he did. He walks in and he kills a saloon owner. Sorry about that, guys. This is very important. He walks in and he goes, "Who owns this saloon?" Because Morgan Freeman's dead body is out front. And he goes, "I do." He blows him away. And he goes, "He should have thought about arming himself before he decided to decorate his saloon with my friend." And then he fucking kills everyone. Just like, he's like, anyone that doesn't want to get killed better clear on out the back. And 10 dudes leave, and the rest of the people that are left, he just blows everyone away. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. That's and then he walks out, and you never see him again. You don't know if he goes back to his kids, nothing. But it's just such a cool, powerful moment, because he's got Gene Hackman, and he's got a double barrel shotgun in his head at the very end. And he goes, "I'll see you in hell." And he goes, "Yeah." And just fucking canoes his head. And it's so good. So I just spoiled the end of that movie, but if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. That's it.
Cool.